just start off putting your hands just into your hips. So you want to get it just where the hips come in, and then we're going to lean over. So feet shoulder width apart, face them both forward, and just lean over. So it's not like a squat, but you are just sort of aiming to get into that starting squat position. Then all I want you to do from here, stepping 1 foot back up on your toes and lift those hands up to the ceiling. You're going to hold it for a few seconds and then walk back into that little bit of a squat. You're going to just stick on the same leg in your own time, sticking it straight back up on your toes and then lift your hands up. I just want you to hold it for a couple seconds and then coming back again. It's all in your own time, this one, so just taking your time with it. It's all about feeling that contraction in the leg, bringing the hands up to the ceiling, leaning back as far as you can, and then coming back again, just sticking on the leg. I want you to really just feel it in that little bit of a squat position when you come back to the middle. We'll do one more. And come back to the middle again in your own time, just nice and slow. Then from here, sticking in this same position, we're then going to just put one leg back, up on your toes, hands are going to come into the middle, and I want you to tap. So you're going to stretch out the leg from the middle position out to the side, and back to the middle. Again, all of these movements are all about really slow, taking your time with them, and just feeling out that stretch. So up on your toes, little bit of a movement from the middle to the side. It's all in your own time, so just really taking your time with it. I also want you to focus on your breathing, so nice deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Make sure you're sticking up on those toes at the back. And relaxing, we're just going to come back to the middle. So just shaking it all off, really taking your time. I don't want you to get really worked up with this one. It's about keeping your heart rate nice and low. Then we're going to go back into this squat position. So knees slightly bent, feet facing forward. And the first one we're going to do, step back with the other leg and raise those hands to the ceiling. Hold it for a few seconds, really stretching it out, and then come back to the middle. Really lifting those hands up so they're virtually going behind you, and I want you to push those hips forward so you can feel it in the lower back. And we'll do one more. Stepping all the way back up on those toes and then just lifting those hands. And coming back to the middle with that one again. From this starting position, you're going to drop 1 foot behind, toes all the way up on the back, stepping out to the side, stretch it out, and then come back to the middle. I want you to try and keep this leg nice and straight, so it's just your glutes that are moving that leg out to the side. And we'll do one more. And back to the middle, and again coming back into that starting squat position. So just keeping it nice and relaxed. The next one you're going to do, I want you to just push your feet out a little bit wider this time. Hands are going to go down into the middle, and we're going to go into a side lunge stretch. So from here, go down into the one side. So this leg's staying straight and this knee's going to bend over, and we're going to drop the hands down to the floor. Then hold for a few seconds, come back to the middle, again in that starting squat position, and then go back to the same side. So all of these is more about movement as well as the stretch. So once you've done the stretch, come back to the middle, hands into the middle, and then down again. And one more. all the way down, reaching down as far as you can, and coming back to the middle. Then from here you're going to step back in, so you're starting in that squat position again. Then one foot, so the same foot, so if we went down to the right just, it's going to be the right foot that comes over. Bring it across the foot, and then you're going to reach back to where you started from. So for example, from here, my right foot's coming over, I'm then leaning to the right. So my hands are going to come down, again hold for a few seconds, and then back to the squat position. So every time you've done the stretch, we're going to go back to that starting position. And one more. And back to that start position again. Then just pushing out your feet a little bit wider, and we're going to go the same again on the other side. So hands down to the middle, lean down to the other foot now, keeping the other leg straight, bending this one, and back to the middle. What I don't want you to be doing is just staying in that static stretch. I want you to put that movement in there as well. So don't just stay down here, come back to the middle, relax, and then down again. One more. And then come back to the middle. Just bring those feet back into that normal position. So you're just leaning over, and then you're going to bring the foot across the foot, and then leaning down again to the way you started from. Hold it for a few seconds, and then back into that starting position. So all it's going to be is bent knees, slight bend, sticking the bum out, and then just step into it. And one more. And back to the middle with that one. We're going to start in a press up position. And then from here, you're going to bring the foot, is just going to come up into a stretch. So from here, press up position, step forward, and just stretch it out into there. So the foot should be nice and flat, and that knee should be bent over. Once you hold it for a few seconds, just slowly stepping back, so you're in the press up position. So again, it's a stretch. I really want to stretch it out once you get to the top, and then just drop it back. And one more. And relaxing that one back down. So the next one, sticking on the same side, this time you're going to go wide with it. So instead of coming into the middle like we did before, you're going to go to the outside of your hand and then back into the press up position. So really taking that foot nice and wide, pushing the knee forward, and then back to a press up. And we'll do one more, going back, and then again bringing it nice and wide, pushing that hip forward. And going back down, we're then just going to slowly stand up again. Then from here, I want you to go one foot just in front of the other. The front one should be flat, the back one should be up on your toes. Hands are going to come up. Then from here, it's going to be a little bit of a movement from here. Stretch it all the way back out, and then in. All the way out, keeping on your toes at all times, and then in. So you want to always keep that little bit of a gap between the 2 feet, and then just stretch it out nice and wide, really pushing your ankle down to the floor and then come back in. And one more. So next one, we're going to stay in this position. From here, you're going to come up, drive the knee up, and back down. So your starting position now is here, feet nice and wide, up on your toes at the back. Then from here, drive the knee up, hold it for a few seconds, really bring it up to stretch it, and then straight back out. So it's really hitting the glutes now and all through the hips. Really drive that knee up. If you find it a bit too difficult, you can just sort of pull it up with your hands just to support, and then straight back down. And one more. And coming back to the middle, nice and relaxed. Into that press up position. The first one we're going to do is bring the foot into the middle. So going up, opposite foot into the middle, and just stretch it out. Again, going back to the press up position, and then foot back into the middle. Really want you to take your time with it. I really want you to feel that stretch when you get here. Even if you have to put like a little bit of body weight into that knee, I just want you to feel that stretch whilst you bring the foot to the middle. And one more. And back to that press up position now, and now you're going to go feet wide. So before you just come into the middle, the foot's now going to go to the outside of the hand. Back to the press up, and nice and wide again. One more, press up and back down. Bring that foot all the way up. And back. We're then going to just slowly stand up from here. The next one was one foot just in front of the other. So going this foot flat, bring the other foot behind now. Up onto your toes, and it's from here, stepping straight back, keep up on your toes at the back, and then bring it back. Again, keeping that slight gap between the 2 feet. When you do step back, really push the heel down to the floor. Even though I don't want you to touch it, I want you to really push it down to feel that stretch. Now, staying in this position, the next one you're going to do is bringing the knee up into the knee drive and then back down again. So always keep your toes, your heels off the floor, at the back, so you're on your toes. Drive the knee up, hold it for a few seconds, and then back down. Really feeling the stretch on both of them, so just drop the heel down to the floor when you're here, and then push the knee up as much as you can when you're here. And one more. And coming back down to the middle, nice and relaxed. So with this one, what we're going to do is similar to before when you started up in a press up position. You're then going to bring the foot into the middle, but this time we're going to really focus on this leg. So when we go up, this is the leg that you're going to put a lot of pressure on. So from here, we're just going to stand and we're going to bring this knee up. Then once you drop back down, straight back and down to the floor. Then down, then stepping again. So basically from a press up position, bring one foot to the middle, then going up, bring the knee up, back down, putting your hands straight to the floor, leg straight back, and then drop the other foot back as well. So really slow, you go 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So it's just 4 movements, nice and slow in your own time. And we'll do one more. And relaxing down again. We're then going to stand up. The next one we're going to do, hands are going to go up onto your head. You're going to lean back ever so slightly, and from here you're going to start off with one foot in front of the other. Again, you're going to start up on your toes, keep the other leg straight, and lift and leaning back. Hold for a few seconds, back down and touch, and then up again. So you're really concentrating on this glute now. So from here, one foot goes forward up on your toes, leaning back, bring the knee up, really squeeze that knee so you can feel it in the glutes, and then straight back down again. Again, if you need the balance, just holding onto a wall, that's perfectly fine. And one more. Back down nice and relaxed. We're then going to go back to the press up position. Just taking your time, nice and slow, nothing rushed. And go with the other foot now. So starting in the press up position, we're now going to start with bringing the other foot to the middle. So that's number 1. Number 2 was bringing the knee up. Number 3 was back down, hands straight down. And number 4, finishing with that foot behind. I want you to now focus on that breathing again. So at the moment you might not be thinking about it, so I want you to focus again. So we're going to deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. So as you step in, I want you to breathe in. As you bring the knee up, I want you to breathe out. Take a deep breath in again whilst we're here, and breathe out as we go back down. And we'll do one more. And we're then going to slowly stand up. So, going into the other one again, which was leaning back ever so slightly. Your foot starts off on your toes at the front, lifting the knee up so you can feel it in the glute. And then back down so your legs are straight, toes pointing to the floor. Either hands on your head, or if you can't get the balance, just holding onto a wall or whatever you need next to you. One more, and back down. Coming back to the middle again, I just want to shake everything off, staying nice and relaxed. Next one, we're going to start back into our starting position, which was that squat where you're leaning over ever so slightly. Then, just to quickly explain before we get into it, if I'm going to do my right, if you can, I want everyone to start on their right, just so it makes it a little bit easier. Then the left hand's going to come up into the side. Then with my right foot, I'm turning it and I'm turning my hand with it. So from this position, this foot is turning inwards and my hand is stretching out. The reason this hand is up, because I want you to pull that back as you push this one. So pulling it back as you push the right arm out. Hold it for a few seconds with the twist and then back to the middle. I want you to take a deep breath in before you go. Deep breath out as we twist, really pushing that hand out, really twisting the body, and then come back. And we'll do one more. When you twist round, I want you to stay in this position now. Twist all the way round, back foot twist, keep here. Now, this left hand that was just sitting here before is now going to come to you. So I want you to lean it over. If I can just show you from here. This left hand comes over and you're going to lean. So just bring it round to the top of your head, lean into it, and then back again. So staying in this position, this is now your start position, and that hand drops over as we twist. And then come back. So it's really leaning round to the side, bringing that arm above your head to help you come over. And one more. And coming back to the middle, nice and slight. Nice and relaxed. We're then going to go the other side. Let me just bring this up a little bit so you can see a bit better. So, from here, the first one, into that squat position again, your start position where you're leaning over, sticking the bum out. Right hand's going to come up this time. The left foot is going to twist as the left hand goes. So the right hand pulling you round to really feel the stretch, and then come back to the middle. And one more. Going over now, and I want you to hold it there. So come round, really stretch it out and hold. Then the next one was bringing the right hand over and leaning with it, and then coming back to that starting position. So leaning over, dropping the hand over as you lean to the side, and then come back to the start. One more, leaning all the way over, hold it,